We're moving on. We're talking dividing polynomials, right? We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about synthetic division. We're going to talk about long division. And this, again, is not going to be that hard. Now, on Friday, like I said, we're going to have a quiz on section 4, 7, 4, 8, and 5, 1. I'm going to combine those three, and I'm going to give you a...
Wait, one?
Yeah.
Friday?
Friday, yeah. So I'm going to give you a review on Thursday, right? So now, in this section...
Are you going to use a study guide?
Yeah. We're going to learn how to divide a polynomial with a monomial, right? So what do you do here? So you're going to have to split. How many terms do I have up top? Three. I have 1, 2, and 3 terms, right? I'm trying to divide each term by what? 3xy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take them one at a time, right? So I'm going to have 6x to the 4 y cubed over 3xy. We're also going to have plus 12x cubed y squared over 3xy, and then minus 18x squared y over 3xy. Now we're going to simplify them one by one, right? So when I go here, right, I know 3 goes into 6 how many times? 2, right? So I start with 2, and then let's see what I have. Now, x to the 4 and x to the x. How do I simplify that? Subtract them. So what do you get? X cubed, right? And then y cubed, and then y squared, right? So that's done here. So now we go to the next one. 12, 3 goes into 12 how many times? 4, right? X cubed and x squared, y squared, and y, right? So far so good? Okay, anybody having trouble with this? Okay, and then the next one, 3 into 18, that is 6, right? And then x squared and x, that is x, y, and y, that's gone. So the final result is 2x cubed, y squared plus 4x squared, y minus 6x. This is how you divide a polynomial by a monomial, right? You're just going to take them one at a time, and you just apply every rule that we've learned so far, right?
Why don't you simplify it?
Excuse me?
Why don't you simplify?
You can't. There's no like terms here. I can't do anything else. This is x cubed y squared, so I can't add this up, right? So this is as far as I can go. Now we're gonna learn long division, right? Long division is something that some people like, some people don't like. I don't know where you stand on it, so we're gonna find out. So I'm trying to divide x squared plus 3x minus 40. I'm trying to divide that by x minus 5. Sometimes you have a remainder, sometimes you don't have a remainder, right? In this case, we're going to find out. So the key here is this. When you lay out the dividend, no, this is the divisor or the dividend?
That's the dividend.
Dividend, right? And this is the divisor, and we have whatever we have here, right? And the remainder. So now what you do is you want to make sure you order them from the highest to the lowest exponent, right? So I can't have 3x here and then plus x squared. I need to make sure it's in a descending order. Does that make sense? Right? Also, sometimes, let's say, I'm just going to give you a quick example. We're going to go. So if, let's say I have x cubed plus x minus 1, and I want to divide it by, like, let's say x plus 1, right? If I put x plus 1 here, I have to make sure I put x cubed plus 0x squared plus x minus 1. You have to make sure, even though we do not have x squared here, you have to include 0x squared in your dividend. Or if you don't do that, you mess up your order, right? We're going to get to that. Right now, we don't have that yet, but we're going to get to that. I just want to introduce it in passing, right? Yes. What? I'm saying, if I'm dividing x cubed plus x minus 1 by x plus 1, right? If I want to use the long division, if I put x plus 1 here, I should have technically x cubed plus x minus 1 here, correct? But I said we have to rearrange them in a descending order, right? So after x cubed, what's the next exponent that has to come?
1.
Something, no,
2.
Cube, 2, right? We don't have to, so what we do in long division is we always include, even though we don't have it here, we have to include 0x squared plus x minus 1. We do that because we do not want to mess up our lining, right? Our adjustment here. We're going to get to that.
So
I'm just
Are we
introducing
just
it.
setting up the problem right now?
Excuse me?
Are we just setting up the problem? Or are we
Yeah.
just solving it too?
Yeah, I'm just showing you what's gonna happen in the near future, which is probably in the next,
So we're not solving it yet, but
we're just like giving a preview of that, right? Now, here's how we do use a lot.
Mr. Fawley,
Yes,
can you send Gavin to the front office for early dismissal?
yes,
Thank you.
okay. All right, so what we do here is this. So it says x minus 5, right? We are dividing that into x squared plus 3x minus 40. So what you do is this. You always take this number, this leading coefficient, right? The leading coefficient with the leading exponent here, right? And then you're going to divide that into the first term, right? So I go, how many times does x goes into x squared?
2.
No.
1.
One time, so what do we have? What does that give you?
1x.
1x, right?
Yeah.
So basically, x squared over x is 1x. You go like this, right? So x goes into x squared, x times,
Okay.
right? So that's what we're doing with long division. So then I go, x times x is what?
X squared.
I don't want to hear 2x again when I say x times x, right? And then x times negative 5 is?
Negative 5x.
Negative 5x. So we're doing this here, right? And now what we're going to do is we're going to subtract that from this, right? We're doing long division. What is x squared minus x squared?
0.
0, right? Let's go. X squared minus, I'm taking it out, right? And then on 3x minus 5x. You have to be careful here.
So is that 8x?
8x, right? 3 goes 3x. Double negative becomes what? A positive, right? 3x minus 5x is 8x. And then we bring down what?
Minus 40.
Minus 40. So I'm going to do the same thing. How many times does x goes into 8x?
8.
8 times, right? X into 8x is plus what? Plus 8. Because it's a positive, it is plus 8. Correct? Are we good on that? Now, what's 8 times x? 8x. What is 8 times negative 5?
Negative 40.
Negative 40, right? And we do the same thing, we subtract it. 8x minus 8x is 0. Negative 40 minus 40, that is also 0. So, x squared plus 3x minus 40 divided by x minus 5 gives us what? X plus 8.
Yeah.
It's great because the remainder is what? 0. So, that works perfectly.
What if the remainder isn't 0?
So, we're going to get to that. I'm glad you asked. I think that's my next thing. Let's see. All right. Now, yeah, that's the next thing that we're going to do is something with the remainder, right? So, do you guys want me to work on another example like this?
Can you just do
Yes?
one more?
You do one more, right? Let's do one more. So let's say we have x squared, right? Plus 7x minus 30 divided by x minus 3, right? X minus 3. So I need to lay it out correctly, right? This is x minus 3.
Is this the only way to do it?
Yeah, we're gonna do the synthetic division as well. But right now we're doing long division, right? So what do I do first? Somebody help me here.
Okay.
Mhm.
So you do the x. How many times it goes? Okay, so it goes 1 time.
So that was
X,
okay.
and then x. Okay.
X times
X.
is
X squared.
x times negative 3.
Negative 3x.
All right. And then we do what?
Minus.
Minus, right?
So it's 0, and then it's 10x.
And x. And then what?
Minus 30.
All right. And then?
Then you do it again.
Mm-hmm.
So 10 times.
10 times, right? Because it's a positive 10. 10 times x.
It's 10x.
10 times negative 3.
Minus 30.
Okay. And then we subtract it. What we get?
0.
0. So the remainder is 0, right? So x squared plus 7x minus 30 divided by x minus 3 gives us what?
X plus 10.
X plus 10. Right? That makes sense?
Yeah.
You just gonna take practice. Right? Take practice. That's why you go home and you practice on it. Okay? You gotta keep moving. You gotta keep moving.
Wait, don't erase that, please.
Right. This or that?
You can erase that one, but just don't that one.
Alright. Now let's watch this here, right? We are dividing, watch this here, we're dividing x squared, right? First, listen to, see what I wrote on the board, right? So times 3 minus x to the negative 1, right? You see this. So how would you solve this?
Wait.
Yeah.
First you have to distribute the negative 1, right?
So how you gonna do that?
Isn't it
Mm-hmm.
3 negative 1 minus x?
Ooh, we can't do that. Something raised to the negative, what happens to it?
You flip it.
Flip it. So this becomes what? X squared plus 7x minus 11, and then what? Over
Minus x.
3 minus x, right? You're dividing it. Does that make sense? You're dividing it now, right?
No.
So,
Because why did you know it?
because this is raised to the negative 1,
It's in
right?
It's in our order.
Yeah.
When it's raised to the negative 1, that means you flip it, right? Any number raised to the, if I have x to the negative 1, is 1 over x.
Oh, okay, yeah, that
So,
makes sense.
so that would flip it. That's
Okay,
what, the
got
same
it.
thing we did
Yeah,
here,
that
right?
makes sense.
And now we're going to divide this into this. But here's what we're going to do here. If you look at the last example that I did, what's always the leading coefficient? The number
X.
x, right? Here we have 3 minus x, so we have to rewrite it the correct way,
Negative
right?
x plus 3.
Negative x plus 3, right? So this is going to be, thank you, Cole. It's going to be negative x plus 3, right? Divided by what? X squared
Plus 7x
minus 11, right? So now let's look. How many times does negative x goes into x squared?
1.
Think about it. Negative x
Oh.
into x.
Never mind.
If you can't remember,
Negative x.
negative x, right? If you can't remember, just go like this. If I do this, right? X squared over x is what? I still have a negative,
Negative x.
so this is negative x, right? Negative x into x squared, that is negative x, right? Negative x.
Negative times a negative is positive.
Because I'm dividing negative x into x squared, not positive x, negative. So I still have a negative, right? Now what's negative x times negative x?
X
X
squared.
squared
X squared. What's negative x times 3?
minus 3x.
Minus 3x, right? We're going to subtract again, right? Subtract that. X squared minus x squared. 7x minus 3x.
10x.
10x. And then guess what? I'm going to read this one down, right? 10x minus 11. All right? Now, how many times does negative x goes into 10x?
Negative 10.
Negative 10. Right? So negative 10 times negative x, 10x. Negative 10 times 3, negative 30. Now we have a case where our remainder is not what? 0. Right? 10x minus 10x is?
0.
And then negative 11 minus negative 30 is?
Minus 41.
Nope.
What?
2 negatives is?
So,
19. Thank you. 19. So now we have a remainder of 19. When you have a remainder of 19, this is what you do, right? So to write that, guess what we're going to do? Because the remainder is not 0, we're going to say that x squared plus 7x minus 11 over 3 minus x, bless you, is equal to what? First, negative x minus 10, right? Plus 19 over 3 minus x. This is how you write it when there's no remainder, right? We have, the division gives us this, right? But because we have a remainder, it's going to be 19 over the divisor, right? The reason why we don't write nothing here when you don't have a remainder is because it's 0. 0 over any number is what? 0. Okay? That makes sense? So let's do one more like this. Okay? You get to that. Oh, tired. My brain hurts.
you said your brain break.
No. All right, so we have x squared plus 5x plus 7 times 1 minus x to the negative 1. I want a volunteer to help me here.
In the bathroom.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, Kaylee, help me.
Look what you did.
So what would you do first?
No, I don't know how to do it.
So what are you going to do first?
You're gonna put,
Mm-hmm.
well, you're gonna put it underneath.
And that, so we get x squared plus 5x plus 7 over what?
1 minus x.
And now we can divide it, right? So we can divide it, we're going to put it over here. 1 minus x divided by x squared plus 5x plus 7.
Don't you
Don't you have
Oh.
to flip it?
We can flip it, so that's negative x plus 1, right? Make it easy for us. All right, so what do we do now?
Remember how x goes.
It would be negative x.
Thank you, negative x. Negative x is
X squared.
and negative x times 1.
Oh, sorry, I thought
Mhm.
negative x. Negative 1.
Negative 1x, right?
Yes.
1. All right, now we subtract it, right? This minus this is,
0.
and then 5x minus 1x, 6x, and then we're gonna bring down this guy here, plus 7, right? And now we're gonna do the same thing. How many times is negative x goes into 6x?
Negative 6.
Negative 6, right? Negative 6 times negative x, positive 6x, negative 6 times 1, negative 6, right? And we subtract again, this is gone,
1.
7 minus 6 is
Oh, 8. Oh,
13,
Oh.
right? So therefore, this divided by this gives us what? It gives us negative x minus 6 plus what? 13 over
X.
1 minus x or negative x plus 1, whichever one, the way, however you want to write it, right? So this is pretty much the long division. Now we're going to talk about the synthetic division. Synthetic is actually fun, right? It's better, it's easier to write. So here's what we're going to do. To synthetic division, I'm going to show you the setup, right? So what you do is this, for the synthetic division. X, this is like 2x cubed minus 13x squared plus 26x minus 24, right? If you pay attention, everything is in the right order, right? We have the cubic exponent, then what? The square, then the x, then the nothing, right? So now we divide it by x minus 4. But because this is 4, right? This is x minus 4. We write 4 like this and we go like this, right? This is just the synthetic division. You're just gonna have to learn it. There's no rhyme or reason. This is how it is. So I can't make it any better than that. So it's just what it is. It's 4, right? And then we're gonna lay out all these numbers, right? We have 2, just the leading coefficient 2, negative 13, 26, and negative 24. And we draw a line under that, right? This is how we do the synthetic division, okay? So and then the next thing we do is we're gonna go 2 plus 0, right? There's nothing here. 2 plus 0 is 2, right? And then here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go 4 times 2 is what? 8. We put it here. Negative 13 plus 8 is?
This can be what, 5?
Negative 5, right? And we're gonna go 4 times negative 5 is?
Negative 20.
Negative 20, right? So 26 minus 20?
Negative 6.
Negative 6, right? No, positive 6, you mean. 4 times 6 is? 24, right? Negative 24 plus 24? 0, right? So now what you do is this. Now, when you divide this into this, what you do with the remainder is, with what you have left, is this number here is a leading coefficient of the next polynomial, right? Because this is x cubed, this now is going to be 2x squared, right? So the solution will be 2x squared minus 5x plus 6. So basically, when you divide this into this, this is what you get, right? You always go one exponent down once you get your result, okay? The remainder is 0. So we're going to do a little more of these, and then you're going to get the hang of it.
Wait,
The synthetic, yeah.
So, in the problem, 4 is negative.
Yeah.
Does that matter? You
It does, yeah, since this is x minus 4, this is always going to be positive.
Okay.
If this is x plus 4, this is going to be now what?
Negative.
Negative. You just have to switch it. I wanted to get to that, but you jump ahead of me. Well, that's great. Mhm.
Is it always going to be 2x squared? Like, is that what it's going to look like?
No. If I have 2x to the 4, yeah, we're going to do some more, probably you get it, right? It depends on the example. Let me do another one here, and then we'll see. All right, for example, we have synthetic again. We'll leave this on the board, and we're going to have
So that's just your answer. You don't have to do anything else.
6x to the 4, yeah? Minus 8x to the third plus 12x minus 14 divided by x minus 2, right?
Don't you have to add a 0x squared?
Yeah, we have to add it. Now watch this. Now, this is why it's important to do the synthetic division correctly, right? Now if you look at this expression here, or this polynomial, this is x to the 4, x cubed. What should come next? Square. Well, it's not there, right? So what you do is you need to rewrite this before you actually set it up. So we're gonna rewrite this as what? 6x to the 4, right? Minus 8x cubed plus what? 0x squared plus 12x minus 14 divided by x minus 2. Now we can set up our synthetic division, right? So if I do this little square here, what's gonna go here? What number goes here? 2, right? And then here,
6,
and then,
-8,
and then,
0,
and then,
12,
and then.
-14.
All right. We draw a line, right? And we go 6 plus 0 is
0,
6.
6,
6. What's 2 times 6?
12,
12. Negative 8 plus 12?
4,
4. Right? 2 times 4?
8,
8. 0 plus 8?
8,
8. 2 times 8? 16. 12 plus 16?
28,
28. 2 times 28?
54,
56, right?
56,
And then negative 14 plus 56? 42, right? So what's our remainder this time? 42 is our remainder, right? So to write the result, so because this is x to the 4, what would this be then?
third,
X to the third, so it would be 6x to the third plus
8x, 4x squared,
4x squared plus
8x,
plus,
28,
and then now plus
42
Over.
minus 2.
x minus 2. My man he's locked in. I like that. Right? You see that? It's just like that, that's it. It's pretty easy. The central division is so easy. Right? It's easier than the long division because it's faster. It takes like 2 minutes to get it done.
just a little bit.
Yeah?
Can we use it every time?
What?
Can we use this
No,
synthetic every
it
time?
depends on the questions.
If you learn it, it's easier, but it's kind of hard.
It's like a little confusing.
Yeah, you just have to make sure, even with the long division, if you have a number, you still have to add the 0x squared. You still have to do it, right? You still have to do it. Okay, now what I want to do now is, let's see. I think I want to do this tomorrow. There's another one here that has like, your brain is dead?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
So
Tomorrow.
Yeah, we can do that tomorrow.